Hello, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our lesson, series number 2, biology practical. We proceed teaching series number 2. Make sure you pass through series number 1 and you learn about the classification of living things. And now we proceed with series number 2. And today we consider to proceed with another specimen, another organism, which we call it a bread mold, or we call it rhizopus. And you see the diagram of this organism, and you know how is obtained. We have a bread, and this is after growing. Microscopic organism can be observed. You can use hand lens to magnify those breads, and you can see how those molds have been or how they are growing in different position of the bread. Sometimes can be matured, and sometimes can be small or immature. So it depends the period or the time of that bread have been prepared to initiate those molds. So be together with me from the first point to the last, and you enjoy this lesson to make sure you understand about classification of this bread mold. To ensure you meet the examination questions about the classification of bread mold. So we introduce, when we say bread mold classification, always we say is the sorting of organism into their groups by looking characteristics. The same characteristics make the organism to be different person or different group. So now we are going to look at different topics in different areas, and you will see the different characteristics from other organisms like mushroom and the other fungi. So we are going to look about nutrition, how getting nutrients, respiration, reproduction, ecological relationship, adaptation to the environment, and to their mode of nutrition, to their reproduction. And then we are going to finish with the economic importance. So make sure you base on these features or categories. Observation of the specimen, this bread mold, when you observe, you see there is a sporangia. There is sporangia, and then you back here, you will see sporangia. This one, you see the spores, you see the hypha. There is hypha, and those are observation external features of this organism. That is observation. So it has white thread-like structure. It grow on bread, decaying food, no roots. You can't see the roots of this bread mold, and no leaves. You can't see the leaves. So that the observable features. Doesn't chlorophyll, doesn't root and stem and leaves, and it like a thread like structure, and appear black or dark sporangia. Those are observable features. A classification is found in kingdom fungi, and phylum or division is division Zygomycota. That is classification. When you be asked to classify up to division level, it means you start with the kingdom, you come to phylum or division. According to this level of O-level secondary school, we end up on kingdom and the phylum for this kingdom fungi. When we go to kingdom Animalia, we extend up on stage of class. So don't see that we have forgotten some point. No, we study kingdom, fungi, and the phylum Zygomycota. And we classified it to kingdom fungi because of different reasons. Why acts classified? Why belongs to kingdom fungi? You have to state the reason through characteristics. The first one doesn't have a chlorophyll. It has no chlorophyll. That is number one. Number two, cannot make its own food. Why it belongs to kingdom fungi and reproduce by spores. And then it has a cheating in the cell wall. It has a cheating cell wall. So the cell wall, it has a cheating that is features of that kingdom, and it feeds by absorption. That is saprophytic mode of nutrition. That's why it belongs to kingdom fungi. And the last grow on dead organic matter. That is the reason why it belongs to kingdom fungi. Let's go to another concept. The structure of the bread mold. It has rhizoids for encourage and absorption. It has a storon, which is horizontal hypha. It has the sporangiospores, that is upright stalk, but sporangia contain spores. And the sporangia and the sporangiospore, you can see we have sporangia to contain spores, sporangia contain spores, this one, but the sporangiospore, it means that is like a stem, like a stalk that is upright. Do you see? And the hypha is not the same as rhizoids. You can see rhizoids, we can call it that is it looks, we can substitute in part of roots, but this is not look like a root like a structure. That is rhizoids. So observation of that, it means that the structure hypha thread like a filament forming mycelia. So you can see that is like observable features of this bread mold. I think we are together for this part. Let's look at the habitats. When we asked you to find this organism, where can we go? The habitats. Is it dried areas? No. The habitats, you can find it always the dead organic matter, decaying food, the bread, rotten bread, and the fruits, vegetables. You can find these organisms. So actually, in one sentence, we can say that this bread mold found on dead organic materials, dead organic matter. That is very simple. You can explain apart from mentioning the for fruit, vegetables, and the other matter. So one sentence: the bread mold found in dead organic materials, dead organic matter. And why depends? Why always tends to grow in this material? It has the adaptations. It has rapid growth. It has numerous spores, rhizoids for absorption, and always survive in moist environment. That is adaptation of this organism to ensure can grow in those organic materials. That's how we can explain on that category of habitats and its adaptation. So when we be asked the adaptive features which make to survive to their environment, that is adaptation of those predators. So mode of nutrition, how get nutrition, how get nutrients, that is saprophytic mode of nutrition. It means digestive enzymes are secreted onto food, complex substances are broken down, and the soluble nutrients absorbed through rhizoids and the hypha. So you can see the function of rhizoids, you can see the function of hypha. So mode of nutrition is saprophytic mode of nutrition. Digestive enzymes are secreted into the food. That is on how saprophytic take place. complex substances are broken down, that is, it means decomposed, and the soluble nutrients after decomposition absorbed through HAPA and rhizoids. That is on how you can explain about the mode of nutrition. I think we have understood in that part. How about the respiration and the gaseous exchange? Respiration means that the breakdown of nutrients to get the gas, to get the energy. And the respiration, always we have two, aerobic and anaerobic respiration. So how about this bread mode? The bread mode mainly occupy, we can say, or undergo aerobic respiration. Entire body surface used for gaseous exchange. Why can able to respire aerobically? We have adaptation. It has thin HAPA, large surface area, and moist body surfaces. That means moist, it means it contains oxygen. That means can respire through aerobic respiration. So in simple way, the mode of respiration is aerobic respiration. How about the movement? The bread mode, does it move from one place to another? No, it is stationary. So it means it undergo sessile. This is sessile organism. It means does not move from one place to another. So the HAPA, it is spread over food, and the spore are dispersed by air current, so can grow in different position of that food. So the movement is stationary. There is no locomotion of this organism. So it undergo no movement of one place to another. Coordination and response. How respond? This does no brain, no nervous system, no sense organ, like animals. So it means respond to moisture, respond to temperature, and respond to the availability of the food and the light. That is how can respond, and they can make coordination to ensure it grow and can be observed at the bread mode on the food. That is on how response can appear. Reproduction. How reproduce to get more bread mold, more mold on the food. Asexual reproduction through spores. That is mold, the first mold. So it undergo asexual and the sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction on how it through spores. Sexual reproduction through fusion of compatible high-performing zygospores. It means zygospore appear or formed through HAPA. That is on how can they produce. Asexual reproduction, this is a process. Sporangiola develop, spore produced, and that is spore matured and burst. And then spores dispersed, then germinate under favorable condition, and we get another bread mold. So that is on how we can say that asexual reproduction take place through this process. So that is asexual reproduction. Ecological relationship, ecosystem. How can integrate with the other environment, other organisms. It acts as a decomposer. It means when decomposed, the soil change their structure. If there is a plant can grow by decomposed and compete with the bacteria and the fungi and the other fungi. And some related fungi may be parasitics. It means bread mold always grow on the food, on the fruits, on the other dead material. So can parasite those organisms. So can get nutrients. That is the relationship with the other environment and the other organisms. So act as the decomposer and the parasite. That is ecological relationship. But the role in the ecosystem, we have seen ecology. What is the function of this? What is the role in that one? It means recycle the nutrients, decompose and dead organic matter, and improve nutrients by cycling and contribute to soil fertility. The soil get different structure, get nutrients, and can have ability to grow organisms or plants in a good condition with a high healthy condition. So that is the role of mushroom of bread mold in this case. And then economic importance of this, we start with the advantages. Nutrient recycling. The bread mold recycle the nutrients. Number 2 is used in scientific research, scientific studies, and now we are using to study classification. So that is the function, that is the advantages, that is the importance of this organism. And also biotechnology and the fermentation industries can use to manufacture the product. And then disadvantages, food storage. We have seen that it grows on the bread, that's the food. So when the food left bare on bad condition for suitable of growing of bread mold, it means the food will be spoiled. That is on how can be a disadvantage. The economic loss due to the food wastage, allergic reaction caused by spores. Let's say you can contact with the skin, can make an allergic reaction of that bread mold. It means when you contact with the skin, this bread molds, let's say it means you can make the skin reaction, allergic reaction, and so on. That is, you can get the disadvantages. That is on how we can study bread mold in that way, and you can pass through evolutionary features, eukaryotic cell, specialized reproductive structure, differentiated high and efficient nutrient absorption mechanism. That is evolutionary. So when you are going to study, in case of fitness of the examination, you have to base on identification of that specimen, classification through kingdom and phylum, with the reason why kingdoms, fungi, observable features, mode of nutrition, habitats, reproductive structure, reproductive mode, advantages and disadvantages. And you can go beyond habitats, respiratory surface or structure, and you can have ability to answer any question which would arise, which involve bread mold. And you can integrate with the lesson number 1 or series number 1 of mushroom. You can see the difference of bread mold and the mushroom. So we end up here. Thank you for learning, and thank you for your listening. Another lesson you're going to see on the next